Well, hello everyone. As you can see on the captions just displayed, these are the dates you have to be a Sagittarius rat. Let's take the chance to say Happy New Year. This is the first one in the new year, and we are in the rat family, and this is the second character of that rat family we're looking at, and it's the Sagittarius. Still in the fire family of the Western, so it's joining up with its friend, the Aries rat. So, okay, where do we start with the Sagittarius rat? The need to be first, as with all rat children, is prominent, but not as prominent as in the other fire signs. They can be a little bit more thoughtful and a little bit more philosophical, even at a young age, and they can get preoccupied and take themselves out of their happy-go-lucky natural nature. If there's a death in the family, or if they've witnessed, they might have had a grandparent or an uncle they were particularly close with, or something like that, and there is a preoccupation with death, and this is because Sagittarius is a very, as I say, philosophical sign, and it will look into things like the meaning of life from a very young age. It's quite natural for them to have a fear of death, I suppose with most children, but even more so with the Sagittarius. And they will like to look at religious studies quite early. So this would temper the rat down. You're still going to get a character that, as I say, is happy-go-lucky, quite daring, having loads of friends, wants to be first still, but they will temper this a bit with a very thoughtfulness for others, and also about the things we can't see. Even the spirit world can be prone to being psychics, Sagittarians, and they can have the gift from quite a young age, but won't often develop that until they get into their 20s. So we have a bright child, a very understanding child, will excel in religious studies. Quite a few of these can go on to be vicars, and that sort in later life, because they do, as I say, if they're affected at a young age, they will pursue this career and the meaning of life, and the things where a lot of people will just brush off. It will take them into silences and into a lot of solitude, which for quite a gregarious sign and as I say, for a fire sign, is quite unusual, but it's bouts. It happens. They'll be like it for a week or two, and then they'll be fine for a month or two, and then it'll be like this. There'll be a little questions that pop up, and they will ask a lot about humanity, and that will be very prominent in their mind. So we're assuming they've done very, very well at school, which they more than likely will, and they will be drawn to, as I say, that side of it, but they will be artistic. They will be first on the scene for designing, interior design, clothes designers, very much cutting edge. And when you do see a rat walking about, and the Sagittarius is no exception, they look dapper, they look unusual, but they look like they're on the edge of what's going to happen. They look like they're bringing the fashion in, or they're bringing the style in. It's because that's the way they work. They are very, as I say, they're very perceptive, and they know what trends are going to follow. And these can have a knack of being very good gamblers, actually, as well. This is a little bit of a trait with them. They're very good at forecasting stuff. With result forecasting or horse racing or whatever, they tend to be very, as I say, they look deeply into stuff, and boom, they're on them now. So if we're looking at stocks and shares, if you're investing your money with one of these as a broker, or a pension fund, or whatever you choose, if they are one of these, they're normally going to be on the scene for what's going to be happening. They're quite edgy in that sense, and they will take you into maybe a high risk one, but 9 times out of 10 these will pay high, and they make excellent brokers and bankers. So there we have to look at them. If we're going through the teen years and the early 20 years, the rats need to be promiscuous, and as I say, that's the new experiences. It's being first to date the new girl or the new lad around, or if they went to university, they're quite capable of going miles and miles away from where they were born to universities, etc. They will have a promiscuous side, as we've discussed. But with the Sagittarian, this would be taken away a little, as I say, because they will think a bit more before they act. The rat isn't a vindictive or a hurtful creature at all, but they do stuff that does hurt people, because it's strictly because they want to say, oh, I was first doing that, or what are they like, and they will tell you because they need to be the informant. But the Sag will be thinking very deeply about any relationships of the heart, and it would have to feel right. So not as promiscuous as the others in the family by a long stretch here. We have one that's a little bit more reserved in that sense. If we go on to businesses, as I've said, you know, very strong designers of any kind can take themselves away to a monastery, as I've mentioned, when the question on and the meanings of life come into the forefront. But if they are going to settle down, which if they do, and when the rat does decide to settle down, they give absolutely everything, and they are a very loyal creature. This one will be exceptionally loyal, and it will make a great home builder. It'll be a very comfortable house, a generous partner, and a loving partner, and it'll be very, very stable and sturdy. Whereas the aggression and the franticness of the early years of the rat will pass, and they will take responsibility greatly, and they are a very good parent as well. So these are a very good partner, but as I say, you're going to have to accept that they're going to have a bit of their dark moods on occasions. If they see animal cruelty, etc., etc., it affects them very deeply, and you're just going to have to let them brood through this and get them back smiling again, because their sense of humour is key to them to keep healthy and keep away the worries. We look for the Sagittarian rat partners. Well, as with the rats, I love to see them with rats because there's a great understanding there, and money will never be a problem when two rats are together. So for the Sagittarian, you've got to look for your Aries rats, your Leo rats, your Libran rats, and your Aquarius rats there. So they're all the ones to be looking out for. Also to the Oxen family, if you go to the Aries ox, the Leo ox, Libra ox, and also you want to try and find an Aquarian ox, that would be a very stable union. And if you want someone who's quite flamboyant, and the dragons are a very good match as well. And they will take a little bit of the limelight away from the rat, but the rat won't mind that, with the stability and great chance of accumulating plenty of cash together there. So if we stick with the Aries, the Leo, and the Libran of the signs of the dragon, that would be absolutely perfect. The ones to avoid, obviously, any horse years, as I've mentioned, the unpredictability of the horse will quite unsettle the rat there, so that's not a good one. And the eccentricness of the goat, and also the non-ability to stick at stuff with the goat will really sort of break the rat down, so that's not a good union. If we come on to health matters, with rats we have to be careful in especially later years, and that goes through the 20s, 30s, of weight gain. Obesity is quite a big problem, and I reckon this is through comfort eating. Sometimes when they do get in that rut, they can be quite comfort eaters. They need to feel a bit of solace, and that's where they will find it. So very much anything related to overweightness, the blood pressure would be a problem, obviously, heart attacks, although the heart isn't a weak spot for them, but with the obesity that adds the problems, and obviously circulation and water retention problems. So these have got to be watched when you start getting into your 40s, your 50s. You can be a bit of a roly-poly, so that's got to be watched. And I say, you know, just to try and keep as active as possible. Watch the comfort foods, although everyone deserves some of them once in a while. So anyway, that concludes the Sagittarian Rat. If you are one of these and you're new to the channel, then I hope I've helped. And if there's any questions, you just come to me. And also, if you're going to find one of these partners, you could do a lot worse. It is a very good union. Okay, thanks very much. Until the next time. Bye-bye.